Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here to talk about Wednesday's success and how it just goes and smashes everything else out of the water, including like Rings of Power, She-Hulk, all these things. Just absolutely obliterates it. Now, Wednesday, I did my review. I'll leave it linked above, up here somewhere. I really enjoyed this series. I thought it was really, really good fun. Genuinely. And this is kind of one of those things that when I first started to hear about it, I was like, whatever. Saw the reviews coming out, I was like, oh, this seems a bit boring, you know? And then I watched it and I was like, I'm completely immersed. I really, really enjoyed the series. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Really well done. Jenna Ortega did a great job. I'll happily watch her in most things now. I think she's a really good actress. And when I kind of watch interviews of this woman as well, she's very endearing. Very personable, you know? My kind of... You get a vibe off someone. You're like, I could have a beer with this person, you know? So it's really, really good to see that this type of series is getting a successful sort of debut on streaming titles and things. And it's actually, let me get this right, the second biggest title since 2020. Something along those lines. We'll get to it in a minute, but that's huge. It's absolutely smashing. It's dominating the streaming. Like I said, it blows She-Hulk out of the water. And it just goes to show that sort of reiteration of, you know, do we force that message down your throat, which is what She-Hulk did continuously. Men are dumb, women are great, misogynist, whatever. It was just ridiculous. It was an absolute shit fest. It was ridiculous show. Or do you take a leaf out of Wednesday's book and just show a competent woman? And there is some mild commentary on sort of the patriarchal sort of societal norms and things like that, but it's very tongue-in-cheek. And it's very sort of dry, quick witticisms, a la Wednesday. And it worked really, really well. Do you do that or do you do this? I mean, which do you do? I mean, we know which Disney will continue to do. But nonetheless, I thought this was interesting to take a look at. And when there are successes like that, it's one of those things that we just need to take stock of and keep taking note of, because these things are important. So Wednesday manages record-breaking debut week on Nielsen US streaming charts. Now, obviously, this is by no means everything. It's not, right? But what this is a direct comparison on Nielsen's streaming charts. And they have figures for She-Hulk. They have figures for Lord of the Rings. So they do. This is just a direct comparison. And I'd be more inclined to trust this than I would the streamer platform themselves, that have an incredibly large vested interest in it. So, by now it should come as no surprise that Netflix's Wednesday generated a massive audience in its opening week. I don't even think I watched it in its opening week. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get to it. But the series landed on the top of Nielsen's US streaming charts in its first week on Netflix with a massive nearly 6 billion minutes watched. 5.9 billion minutes. That's huge. What a massive success. And you know what? Who'd have thought it would be the success that it has turned out to be? Who honestly thought that would be such a monumental success? Nearly 6 billion minutes in its first week. I don't think anyone did. Now, that's the second highest weekly viewing total for a streaming title since the beginning of 2020. And that is just behind Stranger Things, which generated over 7 billion minutes viewed in the week following the release of Season 4, Volume 1. 7 billion minutes. So, literally, Wednesday is only a billion minutes off. 1.1, but still. Let's round it up to 6. 1 billion minutes off. That's so good. And you know what I find interesting about this as well is that Wednesday seems to be like, it's one of those kind of like sleeper hits. You know, not loads of people, there's not tons of people talking about it. You know, it's not like Stranger Things, which has sort of captured a lot more people's imagination in terms of a discourse. You know, people are really talking about Stranger Things. They're discussing it. Oh, Vecna, who's Vecna? What? You know, what's going to lead into the second season, etc. It was this really big sort of cultural sort of phenomenon, right? Wednesday has come out, and this is just more of an interesting observation than anything else. Wednesday's come out, done incredibly well, but it's not dominating the conversation and the discourse like Stranger Things. And I just find that really, it's one of those interesting things that people are just quietly watching it away, just enjoying it, getting down to it, just watching it, and enjoying it, clearly. Now, the impressive numbers for Wednesday almost make it easy to look past the 4 other titles that hit over 1 billion minutes viewed the week of November 21 to November 27th. So Dead to Me came in at number 2 with 1.4 billion minutes. I mean, this is what you compare it to. 5.9 billion. 1.4. The Crown, in 1899, tied for 3rd place with 1.1 billion minutes viewed. The film Slumberland also notched 1 billion viewing minutes. Netflix also took home the subsequent 2 spots on the chart with Manifest and NCIS. Peacock managed to make its way onto the list with Yellowstone. Loads of people seem to like Yellowstone. I've not got into that yet. The week after season 5 of the wildly popular drama debuted on the Paramount Network on November 13th, posting double-digit gains in all demos. The Noel Diary, a Christmas rom-com starring Justin Hartley and Coco Melon, interesting name, rounded out the top 10. So here it is. There is no comparison for Wednesday. 8 episodes, 5.988. Absolutely outrageous. Dead to Me, 30 episodes, only 1.4 billion minutes. It's literally no comparison at all when you look at these things. No comparison at all. Coco Melon. What is Coco Melon? God, I'm going to have to look at that. This just freaked me out, that name. So there you have it. I just think it's interesting. Will we see, this sort of change the tide of things? No, probably not. It's a shame that this won't change anything. But it's great to see a show series like Wednesday just successful. Just being a success. Just cracking on, being a success. And I've really enjoyed all the behind-the-scenes stuff. This is the thing, when you have likeable people in the role, you watch the behind-the-scenes stuff and you just enjoy it. Because you're like, these people are quite likeable. Very personable. I don't want to watch any behind-the-scenes stuff of She-Hulk. Like, do I want to watch Tatiana Maslany twerk? No thanks. I'm good. I'm good, mate. Cheers. Go lecture someone on misogyny. You turd. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Will we see a changing of the tide? Probably not.